Good morning and welcome. Everybody lay back, get comfy and snuggly. We're going to get grounded and centered. And I could use that today, this groundedness, this centering. I don't know exactly why. I mean, I guess if I really thought about it, I would know why, but I've been so emotional lately. And taking opportunities to really let that out and how it comes out in me is a lot of crying. But if you've ever had an experience where you laughed so hard that you then cried, like those emotions are so close to each other. And I always say better out than in. When we hold on to things, not to say that we always have to speak our mind, um but being sensitive to not holding things in that are bothering you, letting go of anxiety and forgiving that. All of that kind of goes into this nice little package, as well as giving yourself grace for moments that you're in. Instead of feeling bad, really letting your emotions ride the wave, if you will, and find their way out, so that your body is not continuing to hold on to all of that, or allowing whatever wound is there to continue to fester, if you will. Like um the healing must come out. So with that being said, just take some nice deep breaths and watch the wave of your breath as it's going in and out. And as you're feeling that wave move away from you with your breath, let your body kind of go as well. And maybe it's kind of like this scanning from the top of your head all the way down to your toes as you exhale. This process of getting grounded, may bring up some thoughts and things that kind of bubble up to the surface. And it's just, it's not really avoidance, but it's just kind of like this way of, like right now where I'm at, I'm not going to give that thought any flight. I'm not going to take off with that and just start thinking in that direction. I'm going to bring myself back to this moment where I'm at presently, and to be grounded. Breathing in and breathing out, really just watching that breath and softening. To be aware of any places where you're holding on or where you may be blocked. And so with that being said, I'd like to begin our practice this morning with a reading from my book of Awakening. And it's called When the Path is Blocked. When the path is blocked, back up and see more of the way. We are each a mountain for the other to climb, and often our path to love is interrupted by a mishap or a problem or something unexpected that needs attending. We tend to call these unexpected things in life obstacles. Often the thing in the way comes from another person. A stubbornness falls like a tree blocking where we want to go, or a sadness comes like a flash flood to muddy the road between us, or just as we go to rest in the clearing we have prepared, we are bitten by something hiding in the undergrowth. Thus, in daily ways, we have this constant choice to see each other as the stubborn, muddy, biting thing that blocks our way, or to back up and take in the whole person as we would a mountain in its entirety, dizzy when looking up into its majesty. When we are blocked in our closeness with another, we have this constant opportunity to raise our eyes and behold each other completely, then to kneel and lift the fallen tree, or cross the flooded path, or pluck and toss the biting thing. We have the chance to keep climbing so that we might cup the water that runs from each other, so we might quench our thirst as from a mountain stream, knowing that love like water comes softly through the hardest places. As you're lying here, center yourself and bring to mind a loved one, a friend, a partner, or a family member, and focus on the one stubborn thing coming from them right now. Without denying this difficulty, inhale and widen your heart's view. Back up if you can and see the whole person, stubbornness and all. Breathe deeply and feel both the difficulty that is theirs as well as the entirety of their spirit, which causes you to love them. Take a moment in all of that, in your breath, as you're taking that wider view of yourself. We'll just stay here for about a minute or so. From time to time, if your breath feels stuck in the stubbornness, not fully allowing a full inhale or exhale, that may be the place where you're blocked. And that may show up in a neck, in a shoulder, in a gut feeling, in a hip, wherever your body may be manifesting. It's all connected. We're all connected. There's no separation. Allowing yourself to feel and experience. And so, just let me add that, during the time when I was caring for my mother, I really was not fully myself during that experience. I, as you might say, like put up a front for my own protection during that time, because I felt like if I didn't, I would just be walking around like a weeping mess the whole time and not be strong enough to do the caring for that I needed to be doing. Holding those two hats, if you will, daughter and caregiver. And so now that we're past all of that, now all of that I feel like is coming out. And again, I do allow that for my own healing in that moment, giving myself grace to weep, to grieve. As you're beginning to come out of your meditation, breathe out what you don't need from any of that experience. Let it go. Inhale and breathe in anything that you might be needing a little bit more of today. Compassion, peace. Did you ever notice that? Like, sometimes you could be just even mad at the world and taking that out on other people. But when we allow ourselves to feel and acknowledge it, give ourselves some grace in it, we stop lashing out. Maybe that lashing out is trying to unblock that way. I don't pretend to have all of the answers. I'm just an explorer in all of this, just like all of you. So when you're ready, just begin to stretch your whole body out, reaching the arms over the crown of the head, lengthening everything out. And of course, as we start to move our body starts to talk back to us. I feel this, I feel that. Being completely in the moment of the experience that you're having with your body. Any tightness, tenderness, let your body speak back and listen. Be a better listener. Seek to understand rather than being understood. Become that observer. Draw your legs into your body now and wrap your arms around your shin bones or behind the backs of your thighs and just gently rock yourself side to side, soothing. And maybe add some humming right here. Humming is a sensation or a vibration. And it's also very soothing for your brain, soothing for your mind, vibrating through your body. Inhale and let that sound just gently soothe you. It might even be a little ujjayi breath if you like, which is just exhaling on the back of your throat. It's, kind of like in between that, clearing the throat and bearing down a little bit and exhaling on the back of the throat, which is very warming. Now hold on to your knees, lengthen your neck. Exhale, draw the knees into the body. Inhale, push away just the length of your arms. So creating this little accordion and massaging the low belly and your digestion and encouraging circulation back to the heart. Back to the heart. So isn't that an interesting statement too? Back to the heart. Our lower energy centers, sometimes we get stuck in our lower energy centers. Maybe we're not grounded. Maybe we're not feeling creative. Maybe we don't have our empowerment center moving the right way, which is like your will. And so when the bottom three aren't moving right, it makes it hard to get into a place of feeling in your heart, compassion, love. So just moving in this kind of way just helps to get those things moving in the right direction if you have the right thoughts going through your head. Exhale, draw it in, inhale, push away. And this in itself is a moving meditation, helping to get clearing. Holding on to your knees, draw some gentle circles. And so as we move in this way, we're opening that creativity center. It's also our reproductive center. And not just only in, in a sexual way, reproduction, but what are you producing? What are you creating in your mind, in your life? Are you open to creativity, which opens you up to change? Or are you stubborn here? I'm not changing. You can't make me. Just food for thought. Now let's draw the right knee in, and you can lower your left foot to the floor or extend it all the way out, whatever's comfortable. And continue to circle just your right hip, drawing it up and over towards your right shoulder, and just pausing here, either pressing through that left heel, or again, the knee can be bent and your foot can be down. So when we think about digestion, we think about what the body needs and also what the body releases. So it's interesting with issues of either diarrhea or constipation, like if you're holding on to things or you're letting everything loose and not able to absorb and assimilate, not just in a nutrition aspect, but also in an emotional aspect. Breathe in and out right here. Release your right leg. Stretch your arms over the crown of the head. Interlace, point and flex the feet. Lift the rib cage. Shift your hips up and down. Reach with your arms up and down, one longer than the other. We'll get everything back open again. And then draw your left leg in. You can choose here whether the right leg is straight or whether it's bent. And circle that left hip around. And now we're moving right to left and down because this is how your digestion works in your body, right to left. And we want everything going in that way and not getting blocked. Circle that around. Hold that left knee up and over towards the left shoulder. Extend through the right heel and lengthen the neck and breathe. Every yoga pose is a compression of some part of the body, not only helping with the tissues and the muscles, but deeper, your vascular system, your internal organs. Like the garden hose analogy, you get a crimp in it, kind of shuts off the flow for a moment. And then when you're ready to release, you get this surge. So go ahead and extend that left leg, extend the arms. You get this surge, kind of like a plunger that's moving through your vascular system, that's moving through your internal organs to serve your body with some fresh, new oxygenated blood, cleansing everything out. Now, one more time, let's draw both legs into the body. Wrap your arms around the shins or the backs of the thighs. Keep the feet lying next to each other rather than crossed in the ankles. Lengthen the neck. And we give this transverse colon along the very bottom of your belly a little squeeze. Breathe in and breathe out. Lengthen your neck. Getting the spine nice and long. So we're opening up this connection in our central nervous system from our brain all the way down to our tail, kind of getting rid of the curves. Before we move on from here, while you're here, separate your knees. You can hold on behind the backs of your thighs. You can reach up the lower legs to your ankles, or you can grab your big toes with your peace fingers. This is happy baby pose. Putting your elbows on the insides of your knees. If that works, lengthen. So we're trying to get out all of the curves. Draw your knees and thighs down wherever you have the position of your hands, and your feet are kind of walking on the ceiling. Just try to get long there. Try to take those knees a little wider. Maybe rocking from side to side. It's going to feel good through the neck, through the shoulder blades, middle back, lower back, sacrum. Breathe in and out. And if you want to here, just start to play with the legs by straightening one leg at a time. Just play with it. The knees aren't quite yet warmed up and the hamstrings aren't stretched out, so just be gentle. And if it feels all right, straighten both legs out in a straddle. And if you're not able to hold on to the big toes, no big deal. Just use your hands underneath to support the legs, or on the inside to gently encourage the stretch if that feels all right. We're never forcing. We're never forcing. Bring the legs together. Lower the feet nice and wide, and let's get the outside of the thighs and the hips by getting into our windshield wipers. Oh my goodness, this feels wonderful. And I love the massage across the hips, gently rolling and rocking from side to side. And as the legs fall to the side, you're getting that stretch across the top of the hip and thigh all the way up to the rib cage, directing your head in the opposite direction that the legs are going so that we get any kinks out of our neck. Keep drawing that chin to your chest so the back of your neck is nice and long. Try not to move too fast, and definitely let your body follow along with your breath. Inhaling to the center and exhaling as you fall over to the other side. My right hip has been bothering me lately, so I'm going to hang out over here on my right side and just rock back and forth on it, massaging it, trying to get a little deeper. And then maybe just letting go. Seeing if you can create an imprint of your body into your mat. Breathe in and out. Thinking what might feel good right here is to interlace the hands over the crown of the head while you got a twist, if you want to check that out and see how that feels. Lifting the rib cage up and creating this nice, beautiful space. Bringing the arms back out to the side like the letter T. Go back to a few swishes from side to side. And then whenever you're ready, do the other side. I'm on my left side, just rock back and forth. And I also feel this across the top of my right side. Everything is connected. So if the lower back is tight, most possibly you got some little muscles inside the hip as well that are tight. Let that melt, and if you like, extend the arms, and this especially feels really good on my right side. How about you? letting that right knee fall inward. Really stretching through the low back and deep inside the hip. All these little tiny muscles that support that connection where your leg is connected deep inside your hip. And then all of that connected to your back and your torso. Keep lifting that right rib cage up if you're got your legs over to the left. Coming back to the center for a gentle swish, swish. Adjust your low back. And I'd like to do a little full movement here. So we're going to, still be kind of going side to side. You're going to draw the right knee in and across and open. So start with the legs nice and wide. Left leg goes in and across and open. In and across and open. So a bigger kind of rolling movement. Bring it across the body, little twist there, and place the foot back down. And the legs could be straight if you like. The couch is in the way. I like it better with my legs bent. Roll it all the way over, across the body, and then place it back down. See how that feels. You could even reverse it. Start wide. Finish on your left side. Place those feet into the floor, hip distance apart. Stretch your arms towards your heels, lengthening through your neck. Bridge pose. Exhale, press the hips up to the sky, lengthen the back of the neck. Feel the stretch through the front of the body. Now try to line everything up. Feel all the corners of your feet into the floor. You should be able to lift your toes. Ankles align with the center of the feet. Knees align with the ankle and the center of the feet. Hips align with the knees, the ankles, and the center of the feet. Shoulders align. Everything is lined up here like you got two tracks, and the neck stays nice and long. When you're ready, take a deep inhale, lower the hips down, and raise your arms over the head. Now, this is happening simultaneously. Spine is lengthened here. Little pelvic tilt while your arms are stretching over the crown of your head. And begin again. Exhale, lift, roll it up. Arms come back down to the side. Feel everything lined up. Inhale, lower. Raise in the arms. Lengthen that lower back. Exhale. So a nice big massage in the front and the back of the body. And really opening your heart here. Allowing for emotions, allowing for that connection of all of those energy centers from your root to your sacral, to your solar plexus in your belly, to your heart compressing through your throat. So when we're thinking about that in terms of that energy center, maybe your throat chakra is clogged up. Maybe you're not saying what you want to say. Maybe you got a lump in your throat. So we're helping to plunge that out. Okay, so that's on an emotional, spiritual level. And on a physical level, we're just helping the glands our lymph nodes, our tonsils. One of your body's first defenses in keeping bad things from coming into the body is your tonsils. So we want to plunge all of that out and allow that elimination so we're not getting sick. Whenever you're done, rest all the way down, stretch the arms over the crown of the head, bring the soles of the feet together, let the knees open up nice and wide, relax your arms, and just gently turn your head here from side to side. Completely open. Soften through the pelvic floor, inner thighs and groin, soften through the low belly and the low back. Relax through the shoulders. Breathe in, breathe out. Whenever you're ready, I want you to just take your time to find your way into child's pose. You could just roll over. I flip around because my clock is on this side, so I can keep track of our time. Big toes together, knees out nice and wide. Stretch your fingertips forward. Draw the tailbone back. Rest the crown of your head. Rest the crown of your head, rest your forehead. Our third eye energy center, our place of deep wisdom and thought. Breathe in, breathe out. So as we get grounded here in our intuition, our wisdom, being thoughtful and mindful, and allowing this connection here and just noticing that our head and our thinking are below our heart so that we really allow ourselves to come from a place of feeling and not overthinking. Breathe in, breathe out. Walk your fingers to the right, your arms to the right, and send your hips to the left, taking this left side body stretch. Inhaling back to the center and exhaling the arms to the left and the hips to the right. Let it go. As you come back to the center, let's come up into all fours and immediately go into a kneeling cat and cow. Exhale, draw chin to chest, curl the tailbone under. Inhale, lift the crown of the head, lift the tail. And so as we're undulating through the spine, we're circulating our spinal fluid from top to bottom. It's kind of that like conduit to that electrical connection of everything going on in your spine. All of that connection to every nerve connected to a muscle, to an organ, and we want that to be completely open and fluid and moving. So we're all connected. Coming back to the center into a moderate or neutral position, just sway from side to side. Get the hips, get the shoulders. Massaging the palms of your hands. Looking over towards your foot with your head. Coming back to the center for spinal balance. Extend the right fingertips forward and the left heel back. Take that calf stretch. And then bring yourself into a stable position, working on stability through your left wrist, elbow, shoulder. Stability through your right hip. Length and balance on the other side. And switch whenever you're ready. Trying it on the other side. Now feeling that stability on your right wrist, elbow, shoulder, left knee, hip. Breathe everything nice and long on the other side. Coming back to neutral. Now with your left knee, draw a circle on the floor. Coming back to stability on your right side. And then switch sides. Drop the left knee down, circle with the right hip. Coming back into neutral, take the right arm up high to the sky. And then draw that right arm through. Inhale back up to the sky. Draw it through. One more time. On this next one, we'll ground the right ear, ground the right shoulder, looking to the left side, and pausing here. Maybe your left arm is back behind your back. If that helps you to melt into that right shoulder a little more. Stretching the side of your neck. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Grounding the left hand back to the earth. Inhale the right arm back up to the sky. Let's bring that right hand back behind the back into the left hip pocket. And then open up that right shoulder, gazing up. Breathing up. Being up. And we'll switch sides. Bring the right hand down. Left arm goes up to the sky. Inhale, open up. Exhale, thread it through. Inhale, open up. Exhale, thread it through. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, grounding that left ear. Looking to the right. Breathe in, breathe out. Maybe that right arm goes back behind the back into the left hip pocket. You can bind it a little bit if you can reach that hand around for your left thigh. Or just let it go. The answer is freedom, peace, freedom from suffering. Maybe all just stories that are playing out in your mind. What we think, we create. Bring the right hand down. Inhale the left arm back up to the sky. And come back into all fours. Take another round or two of cat and cow here. Inhale, lift, exhale, curl. We're going to do just a little bit of flowing here. So if it feels appropriate, you can take downward facing dog. If it doesn't, you can press back into child's pose. So always remember that your child's pose is an option to that down dog if that doesn't feel good. Let's all start from our child's pose and move into a nice modified plank, shifting the shoulders forward over the wrists. Breathe in and out here, hugging the elbows tight so that the elbow pit is facing towards the top of your mat. So it's almost just like you're gently spinning the inside of your arm a little bit forward without turning your hands or your wrists. So that way the elbows will come back. Exhale, lower on down. When you get to the bottom, inhale, lift your heart, firm your thighs, squeeze your buttocks. Let your hands and your heart hover off the floor. And now your choice to find your down dog. I'm going to prep my down dog, curling my toes under. Press your hips back like you're going to take child's pose, but then firm through the hands and take your hips up. Replace your feet on the floor, seeing if you can get your heels down. And then bend the knees right and left. So if you're not doing this, you might be in child's pose right now, just breathing in and out. Exhale, let your head just dangle in between your arms. Pull your belly button in, pull your pelvic floor in. Breathe. Everyone lowering back down to your knees and again shifting forward. Spin those elbow pits forward. Exhale, lower down. Notice when you get to the bottom, your fingertips are right at the tops of the shoulders and your thumbs may be going into your armpits a little bit. Firm the thighs, squeeze the buttocks, lift the heart, gentle cobra pose, hover, and find downward facing dog or child's pose. Breathe in and out. In your downward facing dog, if you're looking back towards your feet, make sure your feet are hip distance apart. And the toes and the ankles and the knees and the hips are all facing in the same direction. Everything is lined up. And one more time, lower to your knees. Shift forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog or child's pose. 3 cycles of breath here. Get grounded. We're going to be finding our way to a forward fold. So wherever you are, walk your feet up to your hands and just letting yourself dangle over your thighs. Maybe your elbows are supporting on the thighs and the knees are bent. See if you can let your head and neck go here. Or maybe you're in complete forward fold dangle. Blood flow to the brain. So important. Bringing your hands to your shins or in front of your toes. Extend the spine halfway, looking to the tip of the nose or the top of the mat. Removing some of those rounded places. Exhale, let it go back down. Reversing swan dive, long spine, lifts all the way up, knees are soft. Inhaling, gazing up to the fingertips. Knuckles come to the small of the back, firm the thighs, squeeze the buttocks. Send your heart high. Find some space between your earlobes and the tops of the shoulders. Breathe in and out. Inhale, fingertips come to touch over the head. Hands come back to your heart. And then release to the side into mountain pose, finding your gaze forward. Get yourself centered on where you're looking. Reconnecting with the breath and also with the soles of your feet. Like a tree. Connected. Going through our standing flow now. Inhale, stretch the arms up to the sky. Soften the knees and with a long spine, hinge forward at the hips. Coming all the way back down into that forward fold, into a dangle. You can bend your knees right and left. Shake your head out, yes and no, or right or left. Relax the shoulders. Draw in some circles if you want to. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, let it go back down. Reverse swan dive. Inhale, rise up to the sky. Look up to the fingertips. Knuckles come to the small of the back, or cactus arms, pressing the hips forward, opening the heart. Inhale, rise back up to the sky. Hands come to the heart center, down the middle, and then straight down to the sides. Breathe in, breathe out. One more time. Inhale, rise. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, let it go. Reverse swan dive, inhale. Exhale, open it up. Standing camel pose. Inhale, rise to the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart. Back into mountain pose. Grounding through your feet. Now let's start to rise up onto the toes a little bit bigger, lifting through the arms like you're doing the wave. Coming up to balance on the tips of your toes and lowering nice and slow. Now, every time you do it, see if you can go a little slower. And if you like, you could even count. Maybe starting out with a count of lift for 1, 2, 3, and down for 1, 2, 3. And then every time you do it, can I slow that down for 4, 3, 2, 1. Just see where you are, not as a judgment, just as a way to keep track. And to see maybe how far can I go? Can I get to an 8 count maybe? One more time, whatever count you're using. Then when you come back down to the bottom, bending at the knees, bending at the hips, inhale, fierce pose. Exhale, lift through the crown of the head. Bend and straighten. So we're just doing a nice little squat. Bend back, inhale, exhale, come to stand. And if you want, you can continue that all the way back up into your feet, into the toes. Hold your fierce pose, inhale. Right arm goes back behind you, exhale, looking back, twist. Inhale to the center, exhale, other side. Inhale to the center, exhale, other side. One more time each side. Balancing this lower body with the upper body. Now, as you come back to the center, inhale, exhale, come to standing legs. And then we're going to add a little balance here. This is actually a Qigong movement. So as the arms lift, one leg is going to lift, kind of like you're a puppet. And your fingertips are connected to that knee that you're lifting. And so just working on stability of one side of the body to the other. So I've been trying to practice this because of my right hip bothering me. So as soon as I put my weight on that foot, I can feel that. So if anything's off there, just working on that stability and strength of the hip. Working on our balance. And on one side of the body and the other. Make sure you're even on both sides. Release. Inhale the arms up overhead. Come to standing. Gaze up. Reach over. Grab your right wrist. Bring the toes and the heels together and take that side stretch. Inhale back to the center. Over to the other side. Inhale back to the center. Hands to your heart. Let's do tree pose here. Grounding through your right foot. Place your left heel into your right ankle. Steady gaze. Steady breath. Mind and body will follow. Without pushing the right hip out to the side, keep the right side of your body in alignment from the middle of your foot to your ankle, to your knee, to your hip, to your shoulder. And if you can, bring the left foot to the lower leg below your knee, opening up that left door, squeezing into the outer thigh and the buttocks. If you need to keep your left toes on the floor like a little kickstand, that's fine. Change it up by extending the arms if and when you're ready, or just slowing down your blink and maybe closing your eyes. Maybe we move our arms like a willow. You fall out, no big deal. Just begin again. And release when you're ready. Inhale, stretch the arms up to the sky. On your exhale, take a forward fold and let yourself dangle here. Bend your knees right and left. Shake your head out, yes and no. Finding some neutral. Roll yourself up one vertebrae at a time. Roll the shoulders back. Then let's find our balance on the other side. Hands to your heart. Ground through your left foot. Bringing that right heel into your left lower leg. Steady your gaze. Steady your breath. Mind and body will follow. See where you are. What does this side need? Take your time. Wait till you feel absolutely stable before you start to progress. You can always come back to the beginning. Opening up that right door. Noticing one side may be different than the other. Release when you're ready. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Reach over, grab that left wrist, pull it over to the right. Inhale back up to the sky. Exhale to the other side. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Bending the knees right and left. Shaking some things out here, grabbing your elbows. Woohoo! All right, from here, we're going to find our way to our seat. And from your seat, Go ahead and roll yourself back down. Hold those knees into your belly. Breathe in, breathe out. Lowering your left foot to the floor, extending your right leg to the sky, and just holding. Circle your ankle, wiggle your toes. Breathe in and out. Remember, that's all we have to do is breathe. Everything starts with the breath. Your life begins and ends with a breath. Cross your right ankle over that left thigh, and let's hold this figure 4 stretch. You could open and close the right door. You can sway from side to side. Whatever you're feeling like you're needing, whatever feels good. And you might be holding the figure 4 stretch right here with the left foot down, or you might be bringing the leg over the body. So bothers my hip to increase the stretch, so I'm just going to honor that and keep that left foot on the floor. We never want to feel pain like sharp jabbing pain like a knife. Tension, resistance, maybe. That's okay. We can work with that. And then when you're ready, let's place the right foot down and extend the left leg up to the sky, holding behind the back of that thigh. Circle the ankle, wiggle the toes, pressing that heel up to the sky. Connecting with breath. Cross that left ankle over to the right thigh. Open and close the door. Sway from side to side. Just holding here with the right foot on the floor if that feels appropriate, or bringing the right foot up off the floor and holding the legs over the body. Lengthen your neck and breathe. Now, as you're ready, let's lower that right leg and put your left foot into your right inner thigh. And just let this open up here into our fallen tree pose. We were just here in a standing position. Breathe in, breathe out. Soften from head to toe. And then let's finish off with a twist on this side. You could hook your left toes behind your right knee and bring that leg over, extending your arm out to the side. Hold the stretch. Breathe in, breathe out. Big hug of all your internal organs, wringing anything out that you're not needing. And as you come back to the center, extending your left leg, let's go right into our spinal twist, right side over to the left. Hook those right toes. Open it all up, extending your right arm or placing that right hand on your rib cage. Breathe in, breathe out. Moving into supine fallen tree pose on this side. The right foot goes into the left inner thigh, and we let it open. What can we allow? What do we hold on to? What can we give ourselves grace for? Knowing that whatever bitterness we're holding on to is only affecting our own personal health and well-being. Let it go. And I know sometimes it's easier said than done. But that is, in fact, the process. Returning back into calm and into peace every time. Retraining our nervous system. Staying here as long as you like. Move into your final resting pose, or Shavasana, whenever you're ready. Legs can be up the wall, on a chair, on a sofa. Knees can be bent and falling into each other. So this feels better on my low back when my knees are bent. But I still don't want my legs to be doing any work. So just letting each leg fall into each other. Or the legs can be completely out to the sides. Please try to allow yourself to stay here at least for a minute, especially if you're impatient. Connecting to each and every inhale and exhale until everything just melts away. Now, as you feel ready, begin to awaken. You can slowly move your body from your back to your side and eventually to your seat. Try to bring yourself back into this place of grounding where you're feeling your body touching the earth, anything that's touching. Maybe the palms are resting down on the knees. And when you feel a bit more grounded, maybe the palms can turn up to the sky, symbolizing an open mind. Bring your hands together. If you're wearing glasses, you might take them off. Rub your hands together. Make a little energy and fire here. And then we're going to take these cupped hands and place them over our eyes for soothing. Soothe your weary mind and your weary brain. Let's bring the hands back together again. And this kind of reminds me of we'll just say that this is like a lifeline to your heart. And then just place your hands over your heart. Hands back into prayer for blessings and gratitude. What are you grateful for in your life? What are your blessings? So grateful for you all and this opportunity to share this healing practice with you. Grateful for this breath and this day. The light within me honors and bows to the light within you. Namaste.